Hey guys, my name is Wayne Morgan. I grew up in a Christian family, but my parents were first generation Christians. And so we started looking for a church basically when I was 2. My parents found a church, got saved. And when I was young, I remember reading A Keys for Kids and remember kneeling next to my parents' brown plaid couch and accepting Jesus into my life. I was also a Christian school brat, so kindergarten through 12th grade at a Christian school, but when I realized what Jesus really did and when I owned it for myself, probably about 10th grade, that's when everything changed. Decided to go into youth ministry, even though I never knew a youth pastor growing up. My church was small, had a CPA that did Bible studies with us, and he was the one that inspired me to just make a difference in teenagers' lives. So after graduating from college, I was a youth pastor at a small church, and then came into the Wilkes-Barre area through Youth for Christ. And when I started working with Youth for Christ, a lot of people know my situation through my cancer story. So in 2006, I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was stage 3, high risk. It was pretty intense, and so people from all over the area started praying. And after about a year and a half worth of battle, we were just amazed to see how the body of Christ could rally together. And so being on staff at a parachurch organization, I said, if people cared this much about physical cancer, how much more could we as the body of Christ change the entire valley if we rallied together over the spiritual cancer of the area? And so another thing that happened when I was working through cancer is I realized I have an expiration date. And instead of building Wayne Morgan Ministries, I was like, how can I inspire and help other people make the most out of their lives in their experience right where they are? And so I've done majority of my ministry since then has been to help people just get to the next step. And so I am so excited. Now I have some teenagers. I have actually had the ability to learn about teenagers for the last 20 years, and now I know that I don't know everything because I have teenagers in my house now. But what's interesting for me is that most people still accept Christ as a young person, and right now it is probably the hardest to do youth ministry. Because people are concerned about safety. And so my experience with both youth ministry, understanding it, and also being able to experience it as a parent has just radically transformed my belief that churches really can do youth ministry and do it extremely well. And so yeah, I'm excited to be able to inspire people. I'm inspired to tell people that God is still in the business of fixing broken things. And I'm really excited that it doesn't matter how young you are, God has a purpose for your life, and God can use you right where you are. And so if God can use a tall, skinny white guy who had cancer, I'm confident that God can use you no matter where you are with what God has already called you to do.